Hello and welcome back to another Tuesday episode of World Traveler Cooking. I still don't have access to a kitchen this week, so we're going to do another wine tasting of Balinese wines. This time we're going to do fruit wines and dessert wines. So I have 3 bottles here. The first one is one I opened last night. It's a Salak fruit wine. This is sometimes known as snakeskin fruit. Has quite a sweet and sour and aromatic flavor as the fruit, and it's a fruit that Bali is well known for. People will talk about Bali Salak as separate from other salaks. So that's number 1. Number 2, I have a cashew apple wine. This is the fruit from the cashew tree, and the cashews are little seeds in pods on the end of the fruit. So we will try this one. The cashew apple is a close relative of jambu air, which is another fruit that is very typical in Indonesia. And finally, I have one by Sababay. This is Mistelle. It is a white wine liqueur, a fortified white wine. And this one clocks in at, I think, 18% alcohol, so it's similar in strength to a white port. It's supposed to be relatively sweet. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, I'm going to start with the Salak wine. It smells like Salak. That smell is quite obvious. Obviously, nobody would make a durian wine because durian and alcohol do not go well together. So, smelling this, smells nice, smells like Salak. This is smooth. It has the wonderful aromatic flavors of the Salak, along with a bit of sour bite to it. Tastes very much like the fruit. Very nice. It's very, very nice. So the second one on the list is the cashew apple wine. If I smell this, it has an interesting smell. Trying to see how I can describe that to somebody else who's never tried similar fruits. And even this whole family of fruits has a variety of flavors. It's quite unique. This is less sour and sweeter than the Salak wine. It's also brighter in its flavors. I really don't know how to describe it. It has a very, very, very strong cashew apple flavor, but that won't make much sense to you if you haven't ever tried a cashew apple. It would be like, if you're trying to compare it to cashews, that would be like trying to understand what a apple tastes like by trying to eat the seeds. Not very, very, very helpful. I would say there's notes of plum, almost notes of quince if you've tried quinces. Maybe a little bit of pear. Very, very, very nice. I think this is a great wine, especially for if you're having it with a dessert or after. And now finally for the Sababay Mistelle. This is a fortified white wine, sweet white wine. Think of it as maybe kind of similar to a marsala or something. That nose is interesting. Reminds me of some of the more fruity roses, to be honest. Very, 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 very nice perfume on that. Let's go ahead and taste it. So first you get sort of this bright floral notes, and then the bitterness from the bitter undertones from the grapes come through, and then you get a bite of sourness at the end. It's actually, I normally don't like a lot of bitterness in my white wines, but this is actually really, really pleasant. On the second sip, the floral notes are pretty much dominant the whole time. This is a very, very floral wine. Very unique. I don't think I've ever tried anything like it anywhere. Very, very nice. For a dessert wine, for dessert white wine, I mean, I've had kind of German dessert white wines. They usually tend to be lower in alcohol, which can be a little floral, but this is something else. I'd say like jasmine flavors. Yeah, definitely flavors of jasmine. It makes me think of like a floral bouquet, to be honest. But it's actually really, really good. It's very, very nice. So if I were looking at these, the fruit wines are really great. I would think as like an appetizer or a light dessert. The Mistelle is definitely suitable only in a dessert roll. It's would probably go really well with like a dessert that maybe has some rose water or something in it. It's really, 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 very, very nice. So I think these are actually all unique, delicious, worth trying if you make it to Indonesia. And I don't think that these resemble wines that I've tasted anywhere else in the world. So there is that. At any rate, if you find this content interesting, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm hoping to have access to a kitchen again soon. In the meantime, I will continue to do wine tastings of Indonesian wines, simply because they're far more interesting than I expected when I got started looking into them. So, in that regard, bon appetit, and see you next week.